you everyone for being here. It's France Hutchison from the Government of Canada Coaching Network, and we're very pleased after a few months of silence, after starting a year, 2021 year has been very, very busy, and I'm super excited to share the results of the Coaching Summit. We will share a brief presentation, but you will all receive access to this presentation. It's going to be in the bilingual format for the presentation, but for the how we will intervene today and explain it, it's going to be in English only, but the document will be bilingual. Definitely, we will not spend time going over all the details of the presentation or the results, because we want to really make sure we consult you, we get your feedback, we have an interaction with all of you. It's important for us to, through our data, you know, we were able to capture how to improve for the future, what we were needing for the future summits, who will happen in May 2021. The official dates will be May 17th to the 21st, and there's going to be an extra week for the third edition because a lot of people said they needed more time to have access to a coach, but also participate in the events section of the Coaching Summit. Before I continue on, I'd like to maybe say why this picture is behind me. This is a picture that was taken when I was at the Kilimanjaro mountain, and probably daydreaming and eating a cookie just to get my energy back on with my monkey, who was kind of my mascot, inspiring me to keep continuing, keep moving on, and keep climbing. The reason why I want to share this picture with you is that for me, the Coaching Summit and the collaboration we have with all of you coaches is like climbing the Kilimanjaro. For me, it's a dream. For me, it's like ascension to something bigger, something higher. And for me, coaching is that. Bringing the right people, bringing the coach who have dreams, who have aspirations to climb, and to offer a coaching experience to people, and to together change our perception of the world. So this is why I'm still here, and I strongly believe in the committee that we have, but also the huge collaboration between the 300 coaches that just led this initiative with brio, with passion, and with a huge impact on people. So important for me to give you the numbers and keep dreaming and keep climbing together. So our objective is not only to share the results, but tell you we need you. As a committee, even if you're an external coach or an internal coach, we need you coaches to help us bring a summit that is even bigger, stronger, and has better tools to help people live the coaching experience. Donc, this is why I wanted to put that picture on and keep dreaming and keep climbing together. Let me share now the results of the Coaching Summit 2021. 2020, sorry. I'm really confused with the years. So it's a bilingual, but I'll share the English version of the presentation. Objectives of that Coaching Summit was not only to foster a coach. Yes? Go ahead,
so maybe because we just did it in French, but we didn't do in English, just to explain just the context of there's the core team of 5 only. So I interrupted you.
I was going there.
Okay.
That's okay. That's okay. I will give you the baton, the stick, for you to present yourself, Jacinthe and Pierrette. I'm sorry, I'm not in the same order when I did it in French. Sorry, this is my brain that functions not the same way in French and English. I'm sorry. But let me go back maybe to the objectives, and I'll give you the baton, Jacinthe and Pierrette. For the objectives of the summit, it was really important for us to live a coaching conversation and offer the coaching conversation between a coach and a coachee. And so it means not only fostering that coaching culture, but explain to people what coaching meant versus mentoring, and offer those experiences through assigning a coach to a coachee. But also the internal and external collaboration. And the internal external collaboration, it has been demonstrated. Coaches want to contribute and want to collaborate and want to just dive in the coaching world. So this is why I also have today Jacinthe and Pierrette, who was part of the core committee who led this initiative. For sure, like I said, we need help, but I'll invite right now Jacinthe and Pierrette to say hi, where they're from, and maybe one or two words on, yes, what do we need? So let me start with Pierrette.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pierrette Jutra, and I work at Canadian Heritage and manager of learning services in the world of grants and contributions. So that's my day-to-day job. I'm a certified coach using neuro-linguistic programming techniques back in May of 2019 now. Wow, almost 2 years. And I do coaching a little bit on the corner of my desk, like some of us do. Internally at Canadian Heritage, and also I joined France's journey, not on the Kilimanjaro, thanks, but no thanks, on the smaller mountain or different mountain than a coaching initiative in Government of Canada about 1.5 years ago. And what I'm really interested in so far, besides coaching, is the coordination and the logistic of getting all the coaches together and matching them with the client. So one of the priorities we do have, and we have had that priority in the past couple summits and weeks of coaching, but unfortunately, or fortunately, we are looking for resource to support our dreams in that sense that we would like to have a database that coaches can only enter once their information about their coaching, their the skills, the experience they have, the topics they prefer being a coach. So that way we could give access to clients. Let's call them clients, but they're federal employees or coachees. But they would get, this database would be accessible to clients, so they would pick according to their own topic, their own preferences, a certain type of coach and a certain type of coaching, of course. That would also give them the opportunity to book sessions with these coaches. Because one of the challenge, or if not all of the challenge we have with logistic, is to not to ask the coach. The coaches may be different because they change almost every event, but the coaches remain. We keep on gathering new coaches, but still, we want the information to be entered once. That would be so amazing for you because we're asking you all the same questions. I mean, we're sorry for that. We're doing our very best. So having a platform that would also make the information shareable. We've used Teams, we've used other platforms. We started and we still do feed GC Collab because it's one of the platforms that's accessible both from internal and external coaches and clients. So that's where we can also put the information related to coaching. So this is the challenge we have. We're trying to pushing that file slowly but surely, and hoping by by May we could have this database set up. So if you have any ideas, suggestions, please use the chat, and we'll certainly welcome any help in that on that field. Thanks so much. Merci, France.
Thank you. And if you want to react, don't forget there's the option of reactions at the bottom of the screen where you can put thumbs up or a heart or anything that you feel would be best when people are talking. So I think I'm welcoming you to interact. Jacinthe, back to you.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Jacinthe Morin. My main job is I'm a senior manager at Crown Indigenous Relations and Northern Affairs, and I actually manage grants and contributions type funding to help support Indigenous groups work towards self-determination. So very different, yet I try to use my coaching certification and techniques by coaching individuals in set sessions, right? Like the old-fashioned one-on-one. But I find that I love to sprinkle my coaching everywhere as I walk around virtually now and talking to colleagues and with my staff and so on. So even with my supervisor, but don't tell her. So otherwise, yeah, I'm part of the small group that managed to manually do a lot of the matching and organizing for the December summit.
Thank you, Jacinthe. And this collaboration could not happen without the help of the coach, like I said, but also partners who are from the Canada School Public Service who help us offer some content for this. So the events portion or the webinars portion. We had a huge collaboration with the school. We also had collaboration with an events team who offered the platform. We've tested many things as well in order to give access to some content. The bilingualism was a challenge because some of the sessions had to be bilingual. So we've learned a lot of what we should do in the future and maybe what we should improve. And definitely we also appreciated the collaboration of the coaching schools. This time for recruitment, we had a chance to have coaching schools transmitting the information to the people who are in training within their school. So this is why we also appreciate that networking opportunity, which is awesome, and we want to continue growing that networking aspect. So anything you feel that we should be tapping into, connecting with, or collaborating with a bigger, broader network, internal versus external. I know the ICF community chapters, different chapters, we're tapping into that as well. We're trying to, more and more to connect so we can keep people informed and find ways to collaborate in order to improve the coaching culture within the public service. Donc, if you allow me, I will continue sharing, but anything you would like us to ask, please write it down in the chat box. I know Pierrette and Jacinthe are monitoring that, and we will use another tool a bit later on when I will be opening the polls. So let me just continue showing the presentation because there's important statistics I want you guys to see. So as I said, the objectives were really to not only offer one-on-one coaching, but offer also learning products with the network of coaches that we have, but also the great partnerships that we have with the Canada School Public Service. So it's bringing me to maybe give you numbers on the numbers of coaches, but also the level of satisfaction of the collaborators who are the coaches. Well, definitely amongst our 300 professional coaches who offer their help, we had about 50-50 internal coaches within the Government of Canada and 50% outside of Government of Canada. The exact numbers we will be able to calculate that soon. We just have to dig into our Excel sheets, and we didn't really had time to do that. Like I said, and like Pierrette said, we're trying to improve our systems, but we will have more official numbers soon, which led to maybe an important data here. 99% of all of you coaches said we want to do more, or we want to continue collaborating for the Coaching Summit or any kind of event that could connect us with a public servant. The connection with public servants seems to be something arduous, something difficult, and the Coaching Summit really helps foster or maybe make that connection with a coach and a coachee, which we need to improve our matching criteria, which we need to improve. Yes, we know the matching tool, but that's something to focus on for the next Coaching Summit. We had more than 1,300 hours, and I must say that 1,300 hours of individual coaching, which represents a fair amount of money, of dollars, that even though people had a free service, if we focus on the amount of money that could generate, it was awesome. But yes, it was free, and it was the intent to keep it free and to keep growing that matching and the connection between the coach and the coachee. But also maybe something that is really important for us is to keep growing the administration committee of that initiative. If we want to improve, if we want to follow your guidance, which is we want to do more than just one coaching, we would like to have a coaching relationship, more than one session, it means we need a bigger a committee that could help us lead this initiative. So if you want to join us for the next edition, please join us sooner than later, because we're starting to prepare the Coaching Summit that will happen in May. We want to prepare the content, the agenda sooner this time. We want to do the matching process and the registrations of participants sooner, because that was your comment. I want to receive my contact information of my participants sooner. Well, we need a bigger committee to do that. We want to continue also fostering that Canada School Public Service relationship. That partnership is super important because it could help us also lead the events portion in a bilingual format that has more resources. So we will continue growing in that sense. And definitely we want to improve our coaching networks through the International Coaching, the Coaching Federation. Maybe one number here that is important to see is 8.3 level satisfaction from the coach. Meaning that the coaches were a bit more, gave us more constructive feedback, let's say, let's put it that way, a bit more critical or a bit more precise on what should be improved, which is awesome because this is what we need in order to improve the event and also improve the relationship. So this is what we're capturing as well, how to better match, but also how to make sure we use your time wisely and we minimize the impact of cancellation if you have cancellation. So you can recreate a connection easily in the future if we have a better tool in order to assign you someone. That could be a coachee replacing a coachee who canceled. So we're thinking about how to improve this, but maybe what's important to see is that your coachees, the participants, had a level of satisfaction of 8.9 here at the bottom of the screen. You see it, 8.9 out of 10 stars, which is awesome. It's an increment of 0.1%, which is, you know, still an improvement from last edition. So they're very pleased with your work, coaches. People love your coaching. People want to have more of your coaching conversation. And amongst these coachees, 72% of the coachees were new to coaching, which is awesome, specifically with the level of satisfaction that we're observing. They did, for the majority of them, they didn't really know what was coaching and they were impressed by it. Some of them were surprised by it, but the majority said they want more. So we received 665 response out of the 1,676 participants who registered. So let me just explain the data here. We had 1,676 participants who registered for the overall coaching summit. That's the events portion and the individual coaching portion. And out of the 1,676 participants, 1,370 received coaching, but there's a few cancellations in there, so approximately 8%, but the exact number, we're still calculating it, which is still good. But what surprises us is the level of responses of the coachees. 665 respondents, meaning 40% response rate. People want to leave feedback. People have feedback to offer to their coach, and a majority of them left comment for their coaches, which is awesome. They spent the time to respond to the evaluation, which is awesome. And 82% wish to follow up a coaching relationship, which is good because this means you're doing a good job. This means they have a need to pursue a coaching relationship. This level, let me just continue here and stop me, Pierrette and Jacinthe, if you want to intervene, okay? Level of appreciation, out of the 665 respondents, well, we actually had 553 people who actually responded to that question. What they loved about the coaching relationship with you guys is being able to discuss in a safe space. 362 people said they appreciated that, which is awesome. A coaching relationship fosters trust, confidentiality. They loved your professionalism, and they actually loved the coaching process, which is in the future. In the other topics they're requesting is that they want to learn those coaching tools that you guys are using with them. So this is awesome. They want to learn. They may not want to become a coach, but they want to modelize the approach. They also loved your flexibility. And there was actually 87 other comments that I'm not putting in here, but 87 more comments that they appreciated about the session. Alors voila, here you go. And maybe what other tools they're looking for as participants? Well, they want to receive more coaching services, definitely. They want to learn coaching techniques. They want to also integrate coaching in their teams, which is something that seems to start being a trend here. So they want to integrate more and more of the coaching practices, and the rest is like basic, how, you know, have more access to interviews, stories, storytelling, and some of them want to participate in a coaching group. Pierrette and Jacinthe, do I have questions or comments in the chat that you would like to bring to my attention?
Pierrette is the lead on the chat, but I got some people writing to me directly, so she could not see that.
No, so I have nothing that I can see. I took a few names down. Thanks for volunteering. I don't see anything that needs to be shared with you at the moment. Jacinthe, do you have anything?
So a couple of people independently asked me more or less a similar question about what if we want to continue with our clients and or how to get on a list to be with the government of Canada. So I don't know, France, if you want to explain quickly.
Yeah, the reality of participants coming from different departments, it means different rules or maybe different regulations and different ways to have access to coaches. Some will want to have coaches being approved by the department or by the government of Canada. Some, because it's a minor budget coming from their learning plan. There's different angles that a coachee can benefit from coaching, but it all depends on their rules and regulation. So the coaches, if you are external and you want to pursue your coaching relationship, nothing prevents you from doing it. That's something that happens between your coachee and you, but you have to be mindful and ask the right questions. What are the rules within your department? And this is where we don't always know what are the rules. Although I know some coaches who are external are already pre-approved, and that could facilitate the process. I will not, and the committee agreed not to elaborate on that right now, but it might come that we will offer webinars on specific topics where I could invite, or we could invite, people who have specific topics to address or present on a specific topic and offer guidance. And we will do specific topic-based webinar on where you will be invited, and we will be able to share best practices. So keep those questions and keep writing those questions. We will capture them, and definitely we'll find ways to communicate more frequently, but in a different format. Jacinthe, am I forgetting anything? No?
No, well, it's that at this moment that you give a little more flavor on the feedback, or I don't know if Pierrette wanted to.
No, I keep on adding names to our list of people who wanted to help. Just to inform you that Janet Davy and David LeBlanc mentioned something about being certified team coaches. And I'm just thinking out loud right now, that'd be nice if we can have, let's say, a presentation on that or a session on that at the next coaching summit, so they can promote the profession and, of course, promoting services as well. So we will reach out to them, or anybody who wants to offer their services to help us prepare the next summit.
Excellent, thank you. Which leads to feedback received. Last time we were able to send the individual feedback to the coaches. This time, because of numbers, we can't. But we will be offering the generic feedback. I think it's valuable information that explains why we should continue doing what we're doing and why we believe so much in coaching. So we will definitely share with you in a kind of an Excel spreadsheet with probably some editing if there are names in there, where we'll be able to share the comments with all of you. Please keep it for yourself, for you as a coach. We're sharing this because we believe in our collaboration and we believe we can all improve together. We will just eliminate the confidential information if there are any. The challenges, yes, there are definitely challenges ahead, but now it's time for us to have your participation. We want to ask you, what were the changes since last time? What was the impact of the coaching summit? So in the mentee, sorry, I'll go back here. Sorry if it's too fast. The Menti page now for the English format is, if you go on menti.com, you might have to do the www, menti.com. The number is 46, 45, 80, and 1. If you put that number in that page, menti.com page, 46, 45, 80, and the number 1, you will see the first question, which is, what was the impact of the coach after the coaching summit? So please write something. Tell us what was the impact in your role as a coach or in your organization, or it led to what exactly? I'd like to hear more about maybe the shift that happened after the coaching summit. If nothing happened, let us know too. No impact. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. That's what we want to hear. If there are other things that you feel could be the impact as well, or could lead to a bigger impact, we'll also seek your comments. Maybe something you appreciated during the coaching summit that you want to continue doing more of. Donc, Jacinthe, I'll let you maybe guide me, if you don't mind, with the responses that maybe triggers some of your curiosity. And you should see it on the screen.
Yeah, no, I made it bigger this time. See, we're good. So, yeah, so it moves quickly, but I've seen a few times the concept as the reinforcing the desire to be a coach, and now the value added, and so that kind of concept of reinforcement and the validation. Yeah, there's a few comments about first timers. And I'm sorry because I was looking at other things. Did we mention how many? What was the percentage of new people who had never been coached before? Did we have that? We had that in the stats a minute ago. So I think it was 72%. 72%. So that's important.
Yes. Yes, we see that this coaching summit attracts a lot of managers or employees, less executives, because executives are more aware of coaching and they normally benefit from coaching in their own budget, discretionary budget. But for those other employees or our managers, it's not often that they can have access to a coach, which we're trying more and more of, to disseminate and offer that opportunity. So this is why also it attracts a lot of those new people to coaching. A lot of these people also sometimes are surprised by coaching because they're thinking of coaching as more a mentoring approach, which is also beneficial because it helps people understand the distinction between the two and the differences, but also the value add of coaching. We're going to continue collect those comments for sure, and we're keeping them. But what we also observe is that option of connection between a coach and a coachee. A lot of people are saying it's tough to find the coachees, or it's tough to find the right coach. So our objective is really to help and support that matching process and that option of finding a coach that could help a person grow in their career or in their transition or in the complexity they have to deal with. We have 29 response so far. So a lot of people are saying we want to do more coaching.
And
we want to offer maybe more guidance on how to prepare.
Sorry, France. So I guess some people have problems accessing Menti, or they chose to write some comments in the chat. So I don't know if Pierrette you wanted to wait for after, but they already, so there's others kind of parallel comments that I see in the mentee about the timing of the individual coaching sessions versus all the learning events.
So for the next coaching summit, Pierrette, if you want to just interrupt me, go ahead. If you see comments or questions. May 17th to the 21st will be the next coaching summit, but we will extend it on 2 weeks. Because some of the comments of the participants was it was too hard to manage their work schedule, the event schedule of the coaching summit, and also having a coaching moment. So that's why we're extending the coaching summit on 2 weeks. We'll have an events portion, the week 1, and the second week we'll have the coaching conversation happening, which will also address one important comment of the coaches, how to help people prepare for the coaching conversation. So if we have the events portion sooner, and after that, the coaching conversation after, we'll be able to improve the level of preparation of the coachee. Hopefully, it will make your lives easier as a coach.
So France, the 2 weeks in the invite in calendar invitation, it was alluded to, but the first week would be May 17 to 21. That would be when we would have the webinars, the live sessions, and the week of 24th to 28th would be where people can continue if they haven't or do their one-on-one sessions more easily because they have like the 2-week window to book them.
Yep, thank you for the precision. So we'll keep reading those comments. It's super important for us to keep your comments, and super important also to improve based on your recommendations. So this is why we want to continue that conversation growing and happening. If I can, what I would like to do now, Jacinthe, should I continue, leave that on, or should I go to the second question? I think maybe
we should move along a bit, yeah, because we're already at the 2:37.
Okay. How can we support you is super important. I know we've asked in the survey, anonymously, we've asked some of the similar questions, but there might be some ideas popping in your head right now that you would like to share with the group. How can we improve or support you in your role as a coach? So if you have ideas, please write it down. Would like to read. It's more like a word cloud format for this exercise, but it's very important for us to integrate your great coaching, your great feedback. We will also share with you the feedbacks of your coachees. Definitely, we will not be able to send it individually, but we'll be able to collect and share one document for all. Help prepare the coachees. Yes, that's the intent during the first week, to help the coachee get ready for the coaching conversation. And I must say, if we have more help, we'll be able to do all this sooner and assign the coachees earlier. We also have networking opportunities with some networks within the federal public service. I'm not naming them because they're being officialized, but definitely when we're going to launch the next coaching summit, you'll have names of new collaborators or partnerships arising and happening. Being matched with more coachees. Well, this is going to be also one of our questions in the future. How many coachees do you want to take? And which will lead, Pierrette, I think we've decided that we will have a minimum next. I didn't say that in French, but we'll have to put that in writing for the next invitation for the coaches. We need a minimum for, and Pierrette, would you like to maybe explain why?
You mean a minimum of, I'm sorry, I was reading at the chat at the same time. You mean a minimum of clients per coaches?
Yes.
Yes. Well, actually, yes, because of the matching process being a little bit burdensome at the moment, but also to for maximize the involvement of every coach. We prefer. I think did we decide on a number, France? 3 or 5? Or is it 3? Minimum of
We
3
said 3
clients.
last. We said 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yes, I think that's a good base to start with, given the fact that we also want to make sure that every client has a spot with the coaches. So that makes our life a lot easier, and the clients' life a lot easier if there are at least a minimum of 3 coachee or 3 clients per coaches. Can you imagine we had 300 coaches this year? So we would have had a minimum of 900 sessions organized. We already had over 1,200, but we had coaches that took 10 or 8 or 7, which was a lot, but was perfect. So yes, by next summit, we're recommending that coaches sign up for at least 3 sessions, a minimum of 3 sessions.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And yes, we're trying also to find the right technology for advanced portion. This is why we're fostering more partnerships where we will also be able to make sure that the people are served well in the language of their choice, not only for the coaching conversation, but also for the advanced portion. Having bilingual sessions served us well because we only had to facilitate one conversation or one event for some of the webinars or the morning inspirations. But it was something that was not always appreciated, even if the topic was awesome. We will be able also to assess the capacity that we have based on the numbers that the coaches will be offering us. So if you know the weeks ahead now, please feel free to book solid that week and make sure that you're available because we will need help, and I suspect we'll have more registrations than what we had in December. The network is growing, the communication channels are growing, and the people benefiting from coaching is growing. So it means just people who want to have more. It means more participants. Anything that surprises you, Jacinthe, in that cloud, the coach database in big in the middle? Yes.
Yeah, because it's not surprise, but more coaches. We had more coaches than we could take care of in December. So really, it's a better system and or more people, because this was done manually. We had what's the expression in English? The assembly line of who did what. Somebody received the coaches, and people tried to match them at the best of what we could to survive. Then I had the student help me send the clients' names out, but that's it. It's the limits to our. It's not for the lack of concepts. It's for the lack of good technology and people otherwise to get this all sorted out sooner, and that's it. Much more coaches. Yeah, that's it. There's a few of them. About I can say, because I had a lot of people write to me or to write to the student who then was sending me the questions, and there is something about the style. So we have tried to prepare the clients for you, but some people have different styles. I know one coach, she's told me, oh, I send these 5 documents to my clients and they're not answering. And I told her, maybe you scared them. So really you have to see if you send them 20 pages to fill before the first session, it might be intimidating. Yet, you know what, they ended up getting back to her, but not so fast, because she had given them so many documents in advance on top of what we had already provided. So, other concepts, I don't know, Pierrette, if you want to jump in too for what you see.
No, I'm busy reading the chat and taking notes down. We have a fair amount of interested and interesting people volunteering to help. That's amazing. Thank you so much. No, on my side, I think it's all good. I'm keeping the chat busy and answered.
Okay. Otherwise, for me, because I see some people are writing to me directly too, I haven't necessarily answered, but since I'm recording all this, I'm gonna get the chat. I get the chat also part as a text file, so I can look at it. If I don't answer you in the next 15 minutes, I will rest assured we are so keen to get other help. So if it's for help, then I might not answer you right away. But if it's for question, I believe you write your questions to everyone, so Pierrette and I can take care of your questions.
Thank you. So overall, nothing surprising here. I think it's something that we're already, it just reinforces what we knew, what we need to focus on and work on. But definitely looking forward to define also the topics of our events portion for next session. If you are a coach and would like to deliver content, just be mindful of the bilingualism that will be required. So one French and the equivalent in English, and definitely have material ready that is in both languages. We're also looking into complementary topics. Last time we had psychometric tools. There might be other tools or other models you want to present, not just specifically just coaching or coaching by itself, but it could be something else. We had great presentations as well on different models that coaches are using. So just keep in mind that people want to learn the methodology, want to learn what they can apply and extract from the coaching world and apply it easily with in their own environment with their people. Definitely planning ahead. So this is why we're having this session, and we're going to create a core group that will definitely help us create the next coaching summit. Je crois que for me, it's basically all. What I could do is maybe open up now the last question, which is, what else do you have? What other questions do you have for us? Is there anything that is burning that you didn't have a chance to express or ask? And this is the time to do it. So please put any question that pops in your head that you think would be relevant for us. Even if we don't have the answer, at least we'll keep it in mind, and we'll continue building or finding the right response to it or the fine answer to it. So please add it there.
While people write the questions,
oui?
We had actually a point in the chat about since the Monday is a holiday, then it would leave only 4 days to coach. But my first gut feeling answer would say you can start on the previous week, of course, but at least then you don't feel you have to do them all in the 5-day window.
1 week.
And to be honest, last time when coaches reached out to me in December and they said, it's not happening. I had this going on in my life and I said, well, just do them next week, or at least let your clients know that you're still trying to get to them. Right. So, because people with so many people, statistically things happen. So we had a few people with family situations, or one fell down the stairs. I mean, we had real life happen, and it's okay. So I said, listen, you do your best, and we understand that we're supposed to be coaches, so we're supposed to be sportive type people. So
considering that there's a reality, the reason why we're imposing a timing to the event is otherwise we would probably stretch too long, and we will not be able to measure the impact of an event, and it's something that we want to keep for a limited time. But considering also maybe what's written on the board here, have you considered anytime coaching? Well, this is the desired intent for a future. Like, these events could attract newbies or people who never knew what coaching was, but there's a thinking that maybe in the future we would have like a laser coaching option where you would call a number, we send an email, or you would find the coach in the profile or in the matching software, that people who want coaching or laser coaching or anytime coaching could just hook on that website and find the coach and contact the coach. That is maybe something, you know, the dreaming and the image behind where we're looking far ahead and higher. Well, this could be the way forward, but we still have to continue building the awareness around coaching. And I'll use the word prove, but we still, again, need to prove the impact of coaching by collecting more data. This is why we're doing it. Once people know what coaching means and they lived it, they're hooked to it. So we know that through those participants, we will be able to create a pool of people that will probably seek the anytime coaching offers once we're ready to offer it. I'll just get the other comments. It might be helpful to offer participants guidance on how to manage influence up and how to deal with a non-responsive leader. Awesome topic. We'll keep that in our heads for sure. Could we convince the Canada School Public Service of Treasury or Treasury Board to help us obtain a database to capture? It's already kind of in negotiation with Treasury Board. So we're trying to find the best fit. There's a few different initiatives or requests happening in different departments. So we're trying to combine forces and see how we can match our needs and find the right tool for all of us. How big do you want to grow? What a good question. How big do you want to grow? That's a question for the executive committee. So the people who put their names and gave your names to Pierrette, I think we'll start with that question next time, our next committee. So Pierrette, keep that question for our agenda. Are you gathering data insights about the common challenges, coaching topics? Yes. Yes, but not what's happening in the individual coaching conversation. That's confidential. We're not keeping track of that, unfortunately, so right now. How can we focus on supporting coaches to prepare them better for their next responsibilities? Awesome topic. A lot of people are also looking into transition, professional transition. Jacinthe, did I show that slide, or I'm getting confused with the other presentation? Did I show maybe the topics of coaching that participants wanted?
I'm also confused, so we would ask. I don't know. I see David Leblanc and Claude Boivin.
David,
I don't know if you can say
that?
Did we show that? No.
Did we show that? Jacinthe, can you continue maybe the questions?
Yeah. Okay, so
just a minute. Okay.
I also see for me on my Menti, I did not answer anything. So it's showing me some questions that you put in and that we might not have answered. Do all presentations be in both languages? No. For instance, on the Monday last time, Pierrette and I did the French only and English only sessions, because that's what we're finding too, that us in the federal public service are pretty used to go back and forth, but for many people, it's very confusing and they lose track that where we are. So when we speak French, they think we're saying something else instead of, they don't realize we're just repeating what we said in English. So we had, and vice versa, maybe for some Francophones too, but so we do a mix of bilingual, French only, English only. So whatever people are able to share, and we're grateful for the different, we try to have some sort of balanced offering to make it, so everybody feels included, but we understand it's not always realistic to ask you, if you're only speak English, to do a bilingual presentation. So that's one. I don't know, Pierrette, si tu veux, pendant que France cherche le document.
Je suis là.
And the whole thing about getting back to your coaches and so on, they have different ways that they could try to hire you, but that's it. Each department is very different, and within one department, it's not even consistent. So we're giving you the transparent answer. Some of your clients might be able to say in their personal learning plan. That's how they would like funds to be spent, and they want they say, and some departments they can say they can justify hiring you directly because they already have a relationship with you. And in other departments, they will ask you to go through a full, blown application to be on the Government of Canada standing offer. So it's all over the place. So that's the honest answer. It's different things.
But also, if I may add, Jacinthe, because I've been really sensitive about the fact that we are here to promote the role of coaching and the function of coaching throughout government. We're planting seeds. And if people want to have a full garden with tomatoes, cucumbers, and celery, well, it's up to them to bring it forward and to find the means that they need to reach their goal, their coaching goals, right? It could be supported by a PMA, it could be supported by other budget and department. It varies from one individual to another. But if France, correct me if I'm wrong, but our basic role is to promote the function of coaching, the role of coaching, and the profession of coaching. And it includes coaches from the federal government, coaches from outside of the government, which we both need. And then if the coaching profession can be accessible by the federal employees, so be it either free or either with supported by budgets. So I don't know if I'm in myself clear.
Yes, very clear, Pierre. Thank you. And thank you, Jacinthe, for taking the ball here. Definitely, we're trying to find ways to be more efficient in connecting people, but our objective is really to foster that coaching conversation and culture, but also making links. But after that, our role stops there. This is where your role starts even more. The database includes your accreditation. Yes, we want to make sure also we recognize the type of accreditations that you have, your specialties. And this is why we also need to put emphasis on collecting the right data of the coaches and making sure that we're not just also repeating the same questions to you guys and asking you to fill forms after forms after forms. So sorry for multiplying the efforts. Just keep in mind that our system right now is not optimal, but and we have to do the same steps sometimes over and over, specifically if your emails are changing or your coordinates are changing. It's just a lack of using the right tool right now.
So I'm
gonna keep those
timekeeper.
questions.
Yeah, France, I'm the timekeeper.
I know, and I'm going to continue, we're going to continue using those questions, and definitely maybe a way forward for us as a coaching network is to meet regularly on a monthly basis. So we will definitely invite people to come and do a co-facilitation on specific topics. So we will collect those questions and we will reconvene on the monthly basis instead of just twice a year for the coaching summit, twice or 3 times a year for the coaching summit. Pierrette and Jacinthe, I want to thank you again for helping and leading the way. Is there anything we should say or we forgot to say before we let everybody go? Jacinthe?
Keep sending your names. We need your help.
And I want to thank you all for being there. And please be contagious. Invite more people to the coaching network. I want to put a positive spin to everything that we're living, not to play funny words or bad jokes, but we need more inspiration. We need more people who can influence positively and help people grow with everything that we're going through right now. So merci d'être là. Thank you everyone for being there. And please, please come and help us. We need you. Merci tout le monde. Have a great afternoon.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
France et Jacinthe, avez-vous une couple de minutes pour rester ou vous êtes prises après?
Ouais. Non, moi, j'ai une réunion avec des collègues,
Okay,
mais tantôt, ouais, juste pour te dire que tantôt, quand j'ai arrêté le recording, j'avais tout le chat. Fait que j'ai pas trouvé comment déliter le chat, mais je suis, quand j'arrête, là, je vais arrêter le recording, stop recording.